Did you ever encounter a scenario where you would like to find more about a duplicate document, like whether a duplicate document has been previously produced? If it is produced, what's the document ID of the duplicate document? Of course, it is very easy to do this on a review platform where you have all the documents available. But what if you have a huge list of documents and you wanted to check within that pool if there are any documents that have been previously produced, and if so, what are the document IDs? Fortunately, we have a very useful feature in Excel which can help us do this, a feature called grouping and transform. We will use that feature and we'll try to generate the columns is duplicate produced and duplicate IDs. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Firstly, make sure you have switched from the home view to data view. So you can do that by selecting on the data tab on the top middle. Once you have switched to the data view, make sure you have selected all the columns and rows that you would like to group and generate that specific information, and then click on from table range. This would open up query editor, and this should look something like this. You should see all the rows and columns that you have selected. For our demo purpose here, we would be only focusing on a feature called transform within the query editor, and we'll switch to the transform tab. And within the transform tab, we have a feature called group by. So that's what we would like to do as well. We would like to group all the documents within the range with their MD5 hash value, and then try to generate those duplicate definitions what we're looking for. That is, whether the duplicate has been produced, and also what are the document IDs per MD5 hash value. Select on the transform tab and click on the group by operation. This should bring up a pop-up window which will provide you an option to select the input column that you would like to group, and also generate an output column that you would like to save your results on. So here, the grouping column that we would like to select is MD5 hash. Select that. That's how we would like to group the documents, and then just give a name. So our first requirement here is whether a duplicate has been produced. So I'll create a column called is duplicate produced, and for this I would take, and then you would like to do that on is produced. When you do this, this is what happens. So this would pick each MD5 hash value and then pick the max value that is available within the group. That means for this MD5 hash group, the max value that is available is no, and this max value is picked based on the alphabetical order, because Y is considered the higher alphabet than N. Whenever you're picking max, if there is an MD5 hash group that contains both yes and no, it would generate S as the max value. In that way, you would know within that group there is at least one document that has been produced. And if there are no documents that were produced and the entire group has only the value no, then the max value would be just no. So now you have the results, and once you have these results, the next thing you have to do is you have to save these results to a new sheet. You can do that by clicking on File, Save, Close, and Load to a new sheet, and that would open up. Yeah, and that would create a new table, and that new table is now available in a new sheet. So I'm going to rename this as is produced. And now I'm going to use a VLOOKUP feature to generate that value. So I'm going to search for this particular MD5 hash value within this result. Generate with 2 exact match, and that should generate this for me. So for example, if you see this MD5 hash value here, 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 there are 3 occurrences of this MD5 hash value, and it has been produced in one of the occurrence as yes, right? So doc 005 has been produced in tranche 2, but document 003 and document 007 was never produced before. But when we used the group functionality, and once we have generated this is duplicate produced column, now all 3 will have this value generated as yes, and you'll always know, okay, this specific document was never produced, however the duplicate was produced. Now using the same transform function, let's see how we can generate the duplicate ID column. It's going to be the same workflow that we have done for is duplicate produced. However, we're just going to change the operation. We're going to use a text combine feature to group and generate duplicate document IDs per MD5 hash. Let's see how we can do this. So I would do the same thing again. I would select the rows that I require, and then I would switch to the data tab and select from table range. And this should again open up the same Power Query editor where you can again use the transform and group by feature. So previously I have shown you, you have to shift to the transform tab to do it, but you can also do it by simply clicking on the group by feature there, right there in the home page. And then you can select MD5 hash, give the name as duplicate document IDs. Here I would initially use the arithmetic operation that is available and then later change it to a text combine feature. I'll show you how to do it. So initially let's select the sum feature and then select the column that you would like to group here. Here, let's take a step back. I would like to group these documents by MD5 hash and then generate document IDs per MD5 hash group. So that means I am expecting multiple values per MD5 hash group. So, and those multiple values are document IDs. So that's exactly what I have done. I have selected MD5 hash to group those documents by MD5 hash, and then I want to generate that grouping should happen on document ID. So have this, select OK, and this should give you an error message at the beginning. It's because you are running an arithmetic operation, but the values that are available in document ID are not numeric or arithmetic values. They are text. So what I would do here is I would change the list.sum here to text.combine, and for text.combine it would ask you a parameter to combine more than one value. So that parameter here would be, just give it double quotes, SQL, and then click on. So once you have done that, that is, you use text.combine and then you have to provide the delimiter that you need to use there, and that should combine the document IDs, as you can see here. So per MD5 hash group, if there are multiple documents with the same MD5 hash, you should be able to combine them and generate this column here. So as we did previously, you would like to load this table result into a separate sheet. So you click on File, Close, and Load to a new sheet. Click on OK, and that should give you this new sheet. I'm going to rename this sheet as duplicate IDs, and then do the same. Use VLOOKUP feature to generate our duplicate IDs column. So same thing, VLOOKUP. I would VLOOKUP for the MD5 hash, and then I would select the table as the rows and columns that I just generated from the transform feature, and then select duplicate IDs column, exact match. There you go. And this would generate a duplicate ID column for all this. Again, if the same example, as you can see, this specific MD5 hash has 3 document IDs, and now we are able to group them and assign a document ID column. So this is how you can generate definition fields for duplicates within a list by using transform and group by feature in Excel. I hope that was helpful. See you again with another tip very soon.
On a long day at work, even a simple tip like this can help you log off sooner and spend some more quality time with your friends and family. Knowledge shared is knowledge gained. Let's help each other out. Do you have a tip that you would like to share with the eDiscovery community? Please send me your tips at files@ediscovery@gmail.com. You may find the email address in the video description below, and also the link to the Excel spreadsheet. See you again very soon. Please take care and enjoy the life. Signing off, yours truly,